National anthems have a very distinctive sound, evoking vibes of grandeur, solemn ceremony, and gravitas. But what elements of these compositions give them this sonic identity? Referencing the only three national anthems that I vaguely know, namely the French, Australian, and US anthems, I've identified some shared characteristics that I believe are responsible.
Part 1. Rhythm.
While transcribing these anthems into a musical score, I noticed two rhythmic figures which dominate each composition. The first is a dotted 8th note, followed by a 16th note, which sounds like this. This figure can also appear as a dotted quarter note followed by an 8th note, which is the same rhythm but played back at half the speed. This figure is most prevalent in the French national anthem, La Marseillaise, where it forms the majority of the melody. The halftime variation of this figure is found all over the Australian national anthem, Advance Australia Fair. And the US anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, makes common use of both variations. This rhythmic figure is commonly found in popular music as well, where it's often strung together in a repeating pattern to create a swing feel, which is the backbone for many classic folk and blues tracks. In some faster styles of music, a variant of this rhythm is commonly used, where the dotted 8th note is replaced with the regular 8th notes, followed by two semiquavers. The sound that this creates is reminiscent of a galloping horse. This galloping variant of the figure can be found in many hair metal and glam rock songs from the 80s and onwards. It's usually played on the rhythm guitar, chugging along to create an adrenaline-pumping foundation for the song. But by far and away, the best example of this rhythmic figure in popular music I've ever heard is Womanizer by Britney Spears. Seriously, the entire melody is almost exclusively made up by this rhythmic figure. While these examples of popular music are very frenetic and high energy, when you slow this rhythmic figure right down, it evokes more of a military march feel than a gallop, which is what we hear in these national anthems. The second rhythmic figure that can be found all over these anthems is strings of uninterrupted quarter notes. This extremely basic rhythm is surprisingly uncommon in pop music, where the vocals tend to run faster than the backbeat. The use of these strings of slow, methodical notes that hit every beat give these anthems a regal air, once again reminiscent of a military march.
Part 2. Anacruses.
La Marseillaise, Advance Australia Fair, and the Star-Spangled Banner all feature an anacruses, which is a fancy music term for a lead-in measure at the start of a song. Anacruses run shorter than the bars that they precede, sometimes spanning just a single beat. They often introduce the melody by rising or falling in pitch to land on the first note of the song proper. The anacruses in these anthems play a similar role to a fanfare, which is a short tune played on brass instruments to introduce something or someone important. They are often used to introduce a musical work, particularly a military march. These slow driving quarter note rhythms and anacruses in these anthems are a clear reference to military marches. It's probably no coincidence that La Marseillaise and the Star-Spangled Banner both make continued references to war in their lyrics. National pride and the concept of defending the borders of one's home country go hand in hand.
Part 3. Melodic motion.
The final shared element that give these songs their anthemic qualities is their use of melodic motion. Melodies in most popular music styles predominantly use conjunct motion, which means that the tune only moves up or down by a single note in the parent scale. This creates a smooth, stable sound which is easy for the listener to digest, and also leaves freedom to throw in the occasional larger leap for dramatic effect. By contrast, all three of these anthems tend towards disjunct motion, making common use of large leaps and throwing in the occasional stepwise motion as a juxtaposition. Disjunct motion creates a dramatic effect, which gives these anthems their gravitas, and sets them apart from traditional popular melodies. This rather regal approach to tune writing is befitting of a song that is intended to capture the pride of a nation. So there you have it. Distinctive rhythmic figures, Dramatic lead-in measures and the use of disjunct motion in the melodies all work together to give these songs their nationalistically anthemic qualities. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. And until then, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.